But where is it there?
Here. What if it drops? I'm done. I've been made lemoning like crazy.
Yo, boy. It's crazy business.
We're good. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Threeman Press. Sometimes very shy substitution. Sometimes ucoach shawe, ucoach corner, ulindu shawe hamstring and
My boy, again.
you have to bring somebody in who's equally as capable. Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are going to be pressing with us, and we're going to be discussing some really good topics. Remember, guys, this is not a place for us to be right. It's a place for us to ask questions so that we can have conversations that will further our football. So please do us a favor of liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all of those very nice things. No makoko, family WhatsApp group. It's okay.
Of course.
To my right, I've got Football Khalifan. And then, of course, if you're looking for me, Overthinking Football. But today, we've got our guest, Coach Picasso. Ngizushabantu. You beat someone this weekend. Dangazi ukuthi singekhuluma or.
Siyeke.
Segelan, you must, you know.
No. It's just me doing what I have to do. It's football. What can you say? You win some, you lose some.
Humility. Yo.
Coach, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome back. It's been a while. Last time we school.
Tent clean, yonke into on, yonke into ham.
Uvukile malamba manje.
In South Africa, ungavuganga. Football. And there's a certain team this season. It's your team. I want us to start here. I wanted to have a conversation about, because it's not just about trying to qualify, it's about winning. Ever since Sundowns won it 2016, we've only got 2 stars. 2. Be the issue. Where do we start with this?
We're not good enough to win this thing. I think we're deluded as South Africans. The Africans sometimes.
Yeah.
So all the time we keep saying this. Simna like in the world, but seemingly we only have 2 stars. How many? Right? So the proof is in the pudding. Only 2 stars, but yet we're the most talented. If we're the most talented, why we're not winning? Is because actually we are deluded.
How do you ground that, and do you think it could work?
So I'm Nandi, but then you because you have so I don't know if it's how much Jimbo so that's a talent. So we have the top 20 in the world. So their system, in order to cultivate talent, is working better than what we have. So you do face a team that has a better my team failed. Trash right now. So that's what's happening. So we're not good enough.
No, but for me, I think with every football related, we want to fix the problems at the core roots of the problem, you know, and I don't think competitive games, like real competitive. I think now maybe it's getting better. You know, we are heading in the past 10 years, like cup, you get
Danon.
so yeah. So where is been mentality teams is our, you know, but our mentality is we get satisfied with the bare minimum. You know, if and you look at our how they live, you know, a person will sign for one of the top 3, and that for him is the ceiling. You know, not wanting to say, not thinking to say, oh, okay, be a regular. Of course, I can probably push and get to Europe. You know, we are satisfied. If we go out of the quarterfinals, yeah, we did well.
But
we are satisfied. If we go out of the semifinals, yeah, we did well.
But
yeah,
like
we are satisfied.
So like for instance, him saying I signed for Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns, is that actually not the ceiling?
It's not.
Why is that?
It can't be the ceiling.
Why is it not the ceiling?
It's not the ceiling, first of all, from a generational point of view.
Okay.
Everyone, even us here, you wish to have generational money.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't get that with those 3 teams.
But
granted. Wait,
okay.
Let me land.
Okay.
You won't get that, granted, right? You want to have a career that sustains you after even playing. And only a legendary status, a true legendary status. I'll give you an example. How long did he play for Leeds? And how many years has it been since he stopped playing for Leeds? But what he did back then is taking care of him today. Every footballer wants that. Should be wanting that, right? Taking a polo, right? You're satisfied.
But then like, someone can argue say,
no, let's be real.
But someone can say Tekos didn't go overseas and he's thriving.
It's how many
and how many Lucas
players
Ratebes are there?
Listen, how many if for example Tekos thrived for the Lucas Radebe part. He strived, he wanted to go overseas. He makes it very clear, right?
And he did not, yes.
It's like the saying that says shoot for the stars, then land on the moon. You know, so it's that. Try and go as far as you can. Try and apply yourself. Try and do the most with the opportunities that you get.
Can I ask?
Wait.
Yeah.
So my point,
Yeah.
Kalifagne, is that we get satisfied with mediocrity.
Is it the question I want to ask, is it satisfaction, or is it also that we don't know how hard it is to do that? Do we take for granted that part? Because when we speak
Yes.
about our guys, like you're saying, umuntu une polo, everything is fine, right? I used to say, I watch, you know, the Soccer Duma interviews, you'd listen to them or read them, and the person would go, hey, Messi is my idol. And I'm like, Ntana, uchima every day. Une pali, une crown, you've got all of the equipment and everything.
Yeah.
Surely you should be aiming to surpass that person, but it feels sometimes that it's a dream. Like it's there, Mara, we don't believe
But
that
it
we can get
is.
to it.
I think we are taking exceptions and making them the rule. That's the mistake we might be making here. Is that realistically speaking, maybe signing for the top 3 is the ceiling. Making it out of this top 3 and going overseas and actually having a career like Lucas Ratebe or Benny McCarthy is an exception. And just because exception happens, does not make it the rule.
But then what do you say to the people that might say, when Lucas was making it, when Benny was making it, when those players were making it, arguably, right now, I think our players in SA have every single thing. They have every single thing more than those guys would have had at the time. Where's the disconnect happening between the resources, the facilities, the knowledge, the what's the disconnect there?
Exposure. Now
Yeah.
it's easy for people to see you. You can talk to someone right now. You can make a call to someone that is overseas. back then that couldn't happen. So that means even in football, to send your games as a player, maybe your agent does it, for people to scout you, to see you, it's easier now.
It's easier, but now the market is flooded because it's easier. So for you to cut through all that noise is more difficult than it was before. Because now before you used to call someone and have the direct transaction, the direct connection, right? And that gives you some cachet, some sort of ground for, okay, if this person is calling me to talk about Uko Chia, then maybe I can actually take time and listen to this person and actually go watch the person. But now how many messages does that same person get from the entire world?
I want to take it away from necessarily the marketing of the players. I'm talking about more the standard of our play, right? Like you watch, when we were growing up, Abu Leslie Manyatela was scoring 21 goals in a season, for example. Abu Collins Besuma were doing 40 in a season. We used to see a very high bar. Now, with all of the resources and things that we have, why aren't we seeing the next step? Because I think sometimes we baby our teams. We treat.
That's why I'm saying it's the mentality. Like, Khalifang, I deal with South African players every day at an ABC municipal level. I've dealt with South African players every single day at NFD level. Our mentality and the mentality of players that are not from this country is different. I'm telling you. If right now, the other African countries have a mentality of saying, we will do this thing. How we do it, we don't know. If we have to do it dirty, we'll do this thing. We'll get over the line. That's the mentality they have. With us, it's more like we'll give our best. If our best is not good enough, we'll try again tomorrow. With them, it's either this thing must happen. They lose. Yes, it does happen at times, but they don't give that possibility. That's why it hurts them so much. That's why you see coaches get fired after 2 losses. They don't take a lose. So it's the mentality. If we can have that mentality of saying, this thing is either life or death, we have to do it, then that's what's standing in between us and the other African countries.
Are we being
But is it really either life or death?
No, but are we being maybe a little bit unfair? Are we comparing apples and oranges? Because I heard some of the guys from other African countries always say, guys, I couldn't go anywhere. Guys, the Nigerian league is not good. The different leagues around, they're not good. We don't make money. We don't do whatever. So this is my key to surviving right now, is me getting out of here. Do you think that we need to approach it differently with South Africans where they can be comfortable? Is it a case of how do I take a rich kid or pillar soft? How do you motivate that person over the other guy?
And that's my chat. It's not life or death. It's not. It's not.
Life or death, not in the literal sense.
No,
but
for
I'm
sure.
just saying in a sense, Yoguti, I'm just trying to emphasize the seriousness of the matter.
Yes.
Through that thingy.
And what I'm echoing is that it's not that serious, maybe.
For who?
For the players. They get the...
That's exactly what I'm saying.
They play, but why do they need more? They sign for top 3, they make their money, they keep their families fed, and they are well renowned within the country. What more do you need?
But Khalifang, the players themselves that recently retired, you listen to them in interviews, they'll tell you football money won't sustain you until death. Okay. If you retire at 35, do you think the money that you made, remember, whilst you are playing, you are accumulating things, assets, this, that, right? Through this football money. When you are done playing, how long will that money sustain you? So now, I'll give you an example. You take this boy, Lyle Foster. With where he's playing, with just football money, guaranteed, it can last him for a lifetime when he retires, with where he's playing. If he can play for the next 3-4 years. But in the PSL, even players in the big 3 teams, regular players, national team players, which players can raise their hand and say, with just football money, I'm not talking about players that have businesses outside, interest, just football money. Which players can raise their hand and say, where the day I retire at 35, 36, 37, I'll still be able to live for 40 more years with this money? But if you look at the players that are playing overseas, the chat is different.
Can I ask then, how do you as people, as both of you work with players every day, how do you infuse that into a player? How do you, because for me, honestly, can I be honest, it feels like we don't take these things seriously, especially with football. With football, it's a complacency. We've done what needed to be done. We've gotten to a certain place. We don't really want to take. It's almost like
satisfied with mediocrity.
It's a comfort. Gumnandi. Whereas when you look at your rugbies, even cricket to a degree, even the other, you look at them and you go, these people keep striving to do. They're overseas now. They're doing all that stuff.
I'll tell you what. With the career. The career is exactly what the example you made with Teko. Football is they say football is a long, short-term career. It's not. It's not. Really, it's not. Because football can take care of you when you're done playing. Depending on what you did when you were playing and how you positioned yourself and who you associated yourself with and the moves that you pulled. So a lot of footballers make money moves and not career moves.
Okay.
You know, and that's the difference. And that's where the people that manage these footballers come in to say, okay, you are playing football. Now, who do we associate you with? What moves are we making behind closed doors for you to be set for life with the amount of money that you're accumulating right now? You see? So like what Teko did, because he said on one of the interviews he was not good at English, but he informally taught himself to speak English. Now he's on SuperSport, he's there, he's on different shows, he's doing this, he's doing that. We know Teko because of what? Football. He took care of his career and the career is taking care of him right now.
But
that's more long-term planning versus desire and attitude.
No, but what I'm saying, long-term planning, what you do today affects what happens tomorrow. That's the truth of the matter, whether in football or in life in general, right? So if your mentality right now is to achieve the best and go for the stars, you of course gonna tomorrow reap the rewards of trying to achieve for the stars in yesteryears. So what you do things today that you will thank yourself later for.
Do we need, does this, part of my problems usually when we have like conversations about players and people, I think a lot of what happens in South African football is that we leave it up that have to have this drive. The players have to, want this thing. Do we have a problem there? Do we need some sort of leadership at the top or people to make these things more prestigious than what we think they are? Like, does it take, and Tate Motsepe, I always use the example, Tate Motsepe joining CAF to remind CAF that, guys, it's the Confederation of African Football. We should be upping prize monies. We should be doing all that stuff. And we see that come all the way down. Is that what we're lacking?
Look, I don't think we have systems to help the players to thrive. Okay. Right? Like you're saying, you put the player into the system and then let him figure it out. Let him have the mentality. He must have the mentality. He must want to win. He must whatever. Right? As much as our players may be talented, raw talent, that talent needs to be nurtured and put into a system to help them thrive and get the best out of them. So now, for instance, Japan being top 20 in the world is not by accident, right? It's them deciding and developing systems to get the best out of their players to get them where they are, not just purely basing it on lezi zimnandi. And we don't have that. This is why I argue, not argue, but bring the point of maybe signing for Sundowns is the ceiling. Because what is the actual pathway to get me from Ezola to London? What is the pathway to do that? Do you know what the pathway is?
Well, besides I don't think it's necessarily a pathway thing. But Coach Picasso spoke about exposure earlier. I think sometimes you only know what you can see. You get what I mean? So
yes, that's very true.
Your
knowledge is limited to environment.
You're a fan of English Premiership. You don't feel like you can go play there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or you sit down and you wonder, as you're saying, what's the pathway? Hey, the pathway might be too much. Let me stay here. But sometimes that exposure, I believe it has to be I honestly feel like we lack leadership in the country. We lack people that can tell us, everybody, that this is what is possible. This is what you can do. When I spoke to Jostad Ladla, the first thing he said when Tate Motsepe arrived, he said, Tate Motsepe sat us down. And he said, guys, you guys are good, but you can be great, you can be whatever. You get what I mean? Like, he instilled an attitude in them from top down, and obviously with structure.
Yes.
Monies, bonuses, the ruthlessness of the competition.
Yes.
And he was like, I'm going to create this culture. Do we lack that within our leadership, our PSL leadership, our SAFA leadership, to actually make these things, like in every other country, in rugby, they strive to play for the Springboks?
To be honest, right, as I said, this is not just a topic or a problem that boils down to the players.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I agree. You are also right in terms of the system, the leadership, the players themselves. So everybody needs to clean up house in their own house. The leadership needs to be better. The players need to have a better mentality. The development, the structures, the systems needs to be better. For us to get anywhere, everything just needs to be better. From the coaches need to be better. In the grassroots level, we as the coaches, we need to be better. And sometimes I feel like we're not working hard enough to assist players whilst they are still young. Because the most important coaches are not your coach Rulanis in the PSL or outside of the country, are not your... Whichever coaches are coaching in the PSL. There's only 32 teams in the PSL. Those are not the most important coaches. The most important coaches are those at grassroots level. That's why even when you go overseas, the best coaches are down there. Those are the ones that are taking care of the future of the country. So and I always say, no coaching is better than wrong coaching. That's what I think. Because we've got, as coaches, sometimes we coach the players so.
What's wrong coaching?
Wrong coaching is giving the players or coaching the players in a wrongful manner. Like, for example, if receiving the ball, right? If you say to a player, let's say the right way is to say, okay, if you're a winger and you open up for the ball, you are coaching now, right? You are by the touchline. If we are scoring that way and you're going to receive that way and your entire frame of the body is facing that way, and then you are the coach, right? He's also a coach. You are telling your player, yes, you can go down and receive the ball that way. That's wrong coaching. But if George says to the player, when you go to the ball, open up your frame so you can see the entire pitch. When you receive with the back foot. It gives you an option to go inside, to go outside, to hold on to the ball, to resist the press. That is the rightful coaching. So a lot of us coach things in a wrongful manner, and now the players develop bad habits.
Is it bad coaching, or is it sometimes...
It's not bad, it's wrong coaching.
Or is it sometimes that you don't even do that? So, okay, I'm just going back to, I'm not a professional.
That's why I'm saying it's better. No coaching is better than wrong coaching. Because with no coaching, right, the player is always just trying to find solutions, right? No one is telling him, no, do it like this. Because players only adjust to instructions. Or to basically instructions to say, if a coach is always telling you to do something like this, you will eventually do it, but and then it becomes a wrong habit, a bad habit.
I think my question is as well, just on the, I always speak about the small nyana things when you speak the small details. Aren't we missing that as well? I love what you said right there, because I'm thinking back to when I was playing, and again, I'm not a professional player or whatever. I never had that practice. I never had a practice where a coach said to me, receive the ball like this. I never had a practice where the coach taught me how to shoot with laces. I still can't shoot to this day because I had to learn on my own, and I was watching Thierry Henry. So I know how to finish Joalo, but I can't shoot because I've never had. Are we missing out on those small things too? And it goes back to the question of, we've got the resources, we've got the facilities, we've got the knowledge, we've got the league is top 3, we've got all of these things. Mara, when it comes down to it, can our players go overseas? Actually, there's the question. What's stopping them? Because we've got everything, guys.
It's everything, George. It boils down from, as I say, Khalifan was right, the system, first of all. It fails our players. the leadership fails our players. Our players themselves fail themselves. You know, the coaches fail our players. The coaches themselves, even coaches. Let's coaches going out there and coaching in different countries. You know, trying to put yourself out there. Those are things that we are so satisfied. If I'm a coach and I'm coaching in the PSL, that's the ceiling. I've made it. Like I'm done. Like this is that. Like me right. As long as I can go to a place people recognize me, I can afford bread every day. I can take care of my family here and there.
Is that so wrong?
Listen to what I'm saying, right?
En masse.
It's not. Listen. That's the mentality part. That's where it comes in. Khalifang, to say, does your mentality are you a satisfied person?
I think if I
is
can
that
jump in,
so wrong?
I think
The fact that we're calling coaching at a top level in our country mediocrity says a lot about our league.
I think it's not wrong, but en masse it's wrong. So when everybody or a majority of people start thinking that way, remember I used to say, we had a conversation here where I said, in our league, you can understand a handful of teams not having any ambition. You can say maybe out of the 16 teams, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5.
You understand
they
that.
don't care, or the money's tight, or it's survival.
Yeah.
But the moment it starts being, now you're looking at a league that has been won by Sundowns 8 times in a row. Then I look at the Pirates and I say, Mara Pirates. You know what I mean? And I guess my big question, just to ask one question here, can our current leadership do it? There's been a lot of conversations that have been had about the PSL, about Dr. Ivan Koza. David Tidiela came out and spoke about how he's a dictator. There's been people speaking about SAFA. Can the current people do it? So, for example, do you think Dr. Ivan Koza cares about the CAF Champions League?
Why should he care about the CAF Champions
But I
League?
think he should.
Why
No,
should
but does he? Do you think
But I think he should, and I think he does. And I'll tell you why I think he does, right? Football heritage, the topic goes there, right? Pirates have won this competition back in I think this was 27 years ago or something.
Which is crazy.
30 years.
30 years ago or something, right? They won the competition, right? I think even this season, the amount of signings they made, they were serious and they were very aggressive in the transfer market. I think a large part of it was the aim was to say, we're going to challenge for the league and we're going to compete like we did in the previous season or even better in the CAF Champions League. That's why they signed so many players that are so good, right? So I think the signings of the team talks a lot about their ambitions, looking at it from there, because we are on the outside. So we can only make sense out of things by putting 1 and 2 together, right? So I think they do care. I think they wanted to go to do better than they did in the previous season.
Is it a nice to have or is it a need?
It's a nice to have. I mean, I always ask, is the CAF Champions League that important? I always ask this question.
It is.
Why?
Because then you are the champion of your continent.
And then?
When you in any world, right? So when you win the in the CAF Champions League, you go to the Club World Cup. You go to the Club World Cup. There's prize money. The team grows brand exposure.
So
it is important for the brand to grow. Why do you think?
I hear the brand. I hear the marketing side of things. I hear that for sure, right? You compete, you get more money, you get more exposure, blah 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 blah. But does it really matter to the players? Does it really matter to us?
I don't know.
Is there prestige? Is there pride and say, yo, yeah, man.
No, if I can jump in, this is why I'm asking the question about current leadership and new. For example, the league for a very long time, in my point of view, didn't care about the Champions League, right?
Yes.
Up until Tate Motsepe came in and said, I want Sundowns to be number 1 in Africa. generally an outsider.
Yes.
But also they didn't care because it didn't make financial sense. The Champions League did not make financial sense.
I don't think it makes
in
financial
previous
sense
years.
for anyone.
Does it make sense now?
I think it does.
No, I don't think it's ever made financial sense. For me, I don't think. Again, I think it's us trying to convince ourselves, because there's smaller teams that have competed. I really wanted a star. 2003, when Chiefs said we don't want to go, we're not going to do this thing. I think there's a lot of teams that don't have the financial muscle who think that it's just a really prestigious thing. But what I was saying was that I feel as though the league didn't care. Like, it was a thing that was there, but we didn't care about it, up to a point where an outsider came in and said, I want this team to be number one in Africa.
Yes.
And now when we see when Sundowns won 2016, I think that's when everybody kind of started to care.
That it's something.
And the reason why I'm using that example specifically is, do we need new leadership to step into the teams with new ideas, or outside people?
Like the way
The similar to, you get me? Do we need, because the people who are there, I mean, if Dr. Ivan Koza is only caring about a Champions League in the last year, right? What was happening in the last however many years? Or that Kaiser, what did they care? And I'm using them as chair people, but I'm just saying that, can the league go to the next level? Maybe that's the big question. Can the league go to the next level with the people who are there?
Next level being what?
The next level being dominating Africa. Okay. Consistently so. And I mean it in the sense of, we have a league that is building towards being number one. Somebody said to me, our league is number 3 in Africa. And then I was like, Africa's wishy-washy, because it's not, I don't think it's tough to be up there. And I think we're only doing it commercially.
Aren't we top 10 in the world?
I think we've dropped since.
Based on what? What viewership? What?
Nah, commercial. I think it's more commercial that's carrying us. But do we need new leadership? This is, I guess, where the conversation is going to go now. Do we need new leadership to do new things? Because right now we have Danny Jordan at Safa, and the person who's fighting Danny Jordan is Mamria, who comes from inside, who was there for a very long time. You have the David Tiriela speaking out against Dr. Ivan Koza, who himself has been an owner ever since inside.
Yes.
Can we trust those guys to come with new ideas? Can we trust them to come with new requirements for their teams in terms of wanting to go and do big things?
Look, I think the idea is that when you bring in new leadership, they bring in new ideas and they're going to execute these new ideas. Right? That's the idea. Will it realistically happen? I don't think so.
But also
realistically,
even I don't think also as a nation we are patient enough with the process. We want microwave success. You know, for example, I'll give you an example. There are things that are not an event. For example, with Sundowns, when Dr. Patrice Motsepe bought that team, he had a vision for it. He knew what he wanted, as you see. He went for being the number one in Africa, and they did it in 2016, right? And they've been there consistently ever since. Like, they are there, quarterfinals, semifinals, they are there consistently, right? It takes time. It takes years. It takes, so even for Pirates, their ambition, just because, and sometimes you'll fail without thinking you would fail. For example, no one expected Pirates to be out so early. In the
Nope.
Like, no one expected that, especially with the what they did in the previous season. You know, so I think even after, when, like, for example, what's happening to Pirates right now, they shouldn't be demotivated to try again. It should be a thing of, oh, this can happen, it's a possibility. Okay, next season we try again. You keep on trying until you eventually succeed. Yes, you might tweak things here and there and learn from this, or to say this, that, or learn how to play the Champions League. You always had Coach Pito saying the Champions League is a different ball game. You don't play it like you're playing the PSL. You know, different competitions give you different challenges. So it's even that, it's a learning curve. That's why even Sundowns, even now, they are still learning.
But
how do we get over the line to win this thing?
So is it a learning curve for? I'm gonna use chairman Dr. Ivan Koza at this stage of his career.
it's not only a learning curve for him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the players themselves who need to apply themselves and win the games.
Just
Because also, Dr. Ivan Khoza can only give them support and resources to say, you are playing Saturday in Congo. You guys will travel on Wednesday, arrive on Thursday. You are there Thursday, Friday, you are playing Saturday, right? He's supporting them with resources, right? Good. He's done his part. The players now need to say, okay, gents, Seslana, we arrived safely and we need to do the job.
Because we've been talking about development has been a struggle, systems have been a struggle, blah, 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 blah. We need better. And talk about new leadership. Who is supposed to be this new leadership? Who would this new leadership look like for you?
For me?
Yeah. Who would this be? Where would they come from?
In the teams. Also, the thing is, with teams is difficult because a lot of these teams, I mean, Kaizer Chiefs,
they're all family business.
It's family business.
Let's just say
it's difficult.
Let's just say to try and fix the ills that we have in our football.
Yeah.
Who is this leadership?
For me, it's one of two things. You spoke about it last week. It's either you go poach from business, where you take the top people that have run the biggest corporations and they come in objectively and they look at our football and say, guys, Tina, we need to function. We need this thing to function. We've got principles that we use where we come from. We're going to import those principles into here.
Yeah.
What I'm scared of, honestly, is you're going to need a very powerful person. And I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Because for Ntate Motsepe to work at CAF, he had to be extremely powerful.
Yes.
Personally.
Yes.
Outside of football. For him to step in and say, guys, I'm one of the how many billionaires do we have in the world?
Bro.
Maybe the 1,000 or 2,000.
Whatever.
The 2,000 billionaires we have in the world.
He's in the 0.00001%.
I'm going to step in. And you saw what happened. People dropped out the night before the elections. He's able to come in from a point of view of, guys, I remember the contracts. He cancelled the contracts. And he said, allegedly, if these guys don't want to pay the right money, Motsepe Foundation will step in. It's fine. I don't need you guys. I'll bring my own company to come and run this thing. I have a feeling that that's what it's going to take, even in our PSL, even in our SAFA.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, as coach said, Sikela Pezulu land. You're looking at Danny Jordan. You're looking at Dr. Ivan
You know what
Khoza.
I would have loved?
Yeah.
I would have loved if you see how all the levels, NFT Motsepe Foundation, ABC Motsepe League, you know, I would have loved if Dr. Petrus Motsepe was the president of SAFA.
You see,
that I would have loved. That would have changed the whole spectrum of South African football.
And that's what I'm saying. You're gonna need somebody who's gonna be like that, because remember, you're not just fighting Dr. Ivan Khoza. You're fighting the board of governors. You're fighting the clubs. Dr. Ivan wanted to retire last year, apparently, and the sponsors started shaking, and the team started shaking, and they were like, "Guys, we can't
lose this man."
retire.
Yeah,
right. So now you're gonna need somebody who's gonna be able to step in almost immediately. Number one, have those relationships in hand, and then number two, be powerful enough to look at every other club and say, "Guys, we're changing how this is run now." And this is why what scares me about this conversation we're having right now is the old guard that are there. If they didn't really care about CAF back then, why would they care about it right now? Same with Chiefs. Chiefs gets to a final. Good, we get to a final, right? Chinchu coach the week before going to a final.
No, but now,
No. It's Chinchu coach. We lose. Ne? What are you expecting? You're expecting Chiefs to go, okay, we got to the final. For the next 5 years, we are building, we are on top of that. You look at Pirates, they get to a semi-final. You're thinking, okay, this is where we have to stay at the very least, right? And now what we've done with our biggest teams is that we've given them off, like the Chiefs, we've given them off. I'm gonna forget the 30 years that have passed, and I'm gonna treat it as though Chiefs is learning now how to do that thing. You know what I mean? The Pirates, I'm gonna forget about the fact that they won it in '95.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go, Oh yeah, Pirates is learning now. Do we need a change, gents?
Seemingly we do, dog. Like seemingly we do.
I think the biggest thing that can improve our football is our leadership at SAFA. I think the federations. If you see if you see the countries that are thriving, like Morocco, their federation is exceptional. You know, if you see European countries, their federations are running the thing properly. So it's not even. Forget about the top three. Forget about Pirates. Forget about Sundowns. Forget about Chiefs. Forget about the teams in the PSL. The federation, SAFA itself.
But do we need a change? I mean, aren't our national teams doing well?
No, but let's be honest.
But
you know
what
it is.
Okay, is not. Are we not? We care about results, right?
You know.
Do we not care? Okay, wait. Do we not care about results?
Listen to what my
15s, our Majimbos, our women's
to what
team,
my champions,
our national team is doing well. When do you say we need a change? Actually,
you know why I'm worried, ne? You see, there's
no, but
in my
do we?
point of view, ne, there's success. I feel like we are at microwave level success. Like say Shaisa. Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, well,
lucky that thing.
You see, can I tell you?
Is it really lucky if it's all these age groups and it's really luck?
Lucky because we've done it before.
Khalifan, can I tell you something? Ne? I'll give you an example as a coach. Ne? I've been maybe when I took coaching for granted years back. Throughout the week, I'm not preparing the team well. I'm just lazy. I'm just doing whatever. Back then, I didn't take coaching seriously, right? And then we win the game. It's like, okay. You even in yourself, you feel good, right? But right now, in the past 5 years, if I've got to prepare a team and I'm coaching, my friend, I'm taking that thing as if this is going to be the last game I ever coach. I'm very serious, right? And the level of investment I put into preparing my team, I know that when we win, it's not a surprise. And I get a sense that we won today, we'll win again tomorrow, we'll win again the next day. Do you know why? Because of the feeling that I get, because I've prepared, I've spent time on this thing. With us, it's just, let's be honest. Coach,
so with all these teams, all these age groups, men and women, it's all luck.
We can be better.
We
can be better. Trust me. We can be better as a country. This is not our best.
This is how you know it's luck.
School me.
And let me explain luck. I'm not saying Uti Balchai Sanje. I'm saying that the wins that they are getting are lucky in the different spaces, right?
I'm listening.
So you bring in Hugo Bruce,
yes,
right? Hugo Bruce is a guy who's taken Cameroon 2017. He won the AFCON, so he's got some experience.
Yes,
you bring him in, right? It's lucky that at the same time you just so happen to have Coach Rulani and Coach Pizzo and Coach Mangoba over at Sundowns, who have been laying a huge foundation for Sundowns.
And in retrospect, you feed from that.
Yeah,
you benefit from that.
Pirates now, it just so happens, I'll give you a play, Mbogas. It just so happens that in a year, somebody gets injured, Mbogazi gets parachuted into Orlando Pirates. He's great. Nobody fetched him. Nobody said this guy was up next. It was luck of the draw. Wait. Then he comes in. Ne? And then now he's parachuted into Bafana, right? So you could call that luck. With the youngsters,
yes,
I feel our youngsters have always been world beaters because at the level at they're at, the talent is enough. They have more talent than the other guys around them who haven't been structured just yet. They get killed by structure later on, right? So Abom Fundo walk into we had it. Abom Matthew Booth Matthew Booth at the Olympics. About Debs and about Evidence Mahopa at the Olympics, the ones that were here. The youth teams have always done well, regardless of who was coaching, how they were coaching, whether they were prepared. So for me, all of this is coming together. But the point I'm going to make is, you look at the Chiefs. It just so happens that Gavin Hunt joins. Bar transfer ban. Gavin said from the beginning of the season that I'd rather focus on the Champions League because that's a football that we can actually play easily.
Yeah.
Right? They get to the final, they lose. Now, the reason why I'm saying that now the problem is how all these things fit together is that I don't think Chiefs knows how they got to that final. You get what I mean? So now it's back to the thing we were speaking about last week, where you've lucked out with Hugo Bruce and it's worked out like this, right? Do we think that we've done enough work to make sure that that thing is not luck going forward? So Pirates gets to a semi-final of the Champions League, right?
Safa as an organization gets no credit.
No. I'm saying.
No, which credit?
No.
They get no credit. I'll tell you why.
Tell us why.
They can't even pay our ladies their monies. They can't pay these players their monies.
That's just that's why Kere, it's not a Wabana. If all of these things were aligned, all of the moves they were making were all interconnected in order to do well, then I'd say Safa gets everything. But even right now, with what they're doing well, it's in pockets that have nothing to do with each other. That's my thing. It's not a plan.
I say plan.
It's
You
not a
can't
plan.
sit there and tell us that Safa had a plan and said, okay, we're going to do 1, 2. You know, can I give you something? I'll give you an example, right? The guy that went out now. Why am I forgetting? Steenbok, Walter, right? That man had a plan, right? First of all, the plan was let's get coaching education into the country, back into the country, right? He did it. It was a plan. He said it out loud. He did it. As coaches, we did our badges. We're still doing them, right? That's a plan. Then he was like, okay, sharp. From here, we're going to move in this direction. That's fired. A plan, right? So the person that puts a plan to improve our football gets fired. So in this country, when you're doing the right thing, you get fired. When you're doing the wrong things, you get employed.
But we don't know why he got fired.
No, that's fine. But it's not it's like Pirates.
Perhaps.
Okay, here's one. Pirates, your team. Oh, we've got a 5-year plan. Jose Rivero's our 5-year plan. Oh, Alamufali contract 5 years. Come year 3, he gets to the semi-final of the Champions League, decides, hey guys, I'm
out.
There's no plan. And what we do? No, Coach Wadu has to start from scratch. When Wadu steps in, he has to start from scratch. He has to start over. I feel like that's what's happening with our football a lot of the time, that we luck out, in a sense. We do the right thing. Okay, let me not call it luck. You do the right thing to a place. Then when you're meant to take it from that place to on, then we start seeing that, oh, you are lucky.
And also, you see, and also about the national teams, some of the people that are there are really trying to do their best. For example, preparation. Hugo Bros. I heard in his interview the other day, he's like, they need new, like, young goalkeepers. Already he's thinking ahead. That is planning. When Mshishi was at his best in the national team, peak of his powers, he said, we're going to need Mshishi's replacement. So that's where you are thinking. That is planning. To say, okay, this is the direction. These are the players that are upcoming. Do you look at the younger national teams? Do you look at the PSL? Do you look at the DDC? Do you look at, that is planning. And then when one day it works, it's not luck. And I'll tell you what is luck again. Ne? We wanted Mshishi's replacement. Ne? Luck was getting Sipo to replace him.
Is it luck or is it developed?
No, I'm saying the luck is that we saw him and then he came in and he did the job, right? It was not Sipo coming to a national team. I don't think was anything that was planned.
It was luck.
It was luck.
But Safa just seems to always be lucky. I don't understand what's going on here.
It can happen.
Always be lucky.
It can happen,
and it keeps us. And it
always be lucky.
It keeps us at the level. That's why I said, they're lucky in pockets. Nobody's put it together. That's my problem. You can find them, bogas. Then I ask you to do it again. And then now it's, because Natal, we saw that.
Do you know, Talifang, another example. Sundowns has won the league 8 times. That's not luck, my friend. That's not. It's because these people prepared for it. They planned for it. Every season, they knew if so-and-so goes out, so-and-so comes in. If so-and-so goes out, so-and-so comes in. How do we get better? How do we prepare better? In the Champions League, how do we make sure that we move from quarterfinals to semifinals? From semifinals to a final? That is not luck. Sundowns didn't get to the final of the CAF Champions League through luck. It's preparation. It's plans in place and people implementing those plans. So with SAFA, I'm not convinced that there's a plan. Really. I think it's just that we are lucky
We've got
to
a
have...
whole 2023 plan. We had a whole thing on the SAFA website that speaks on this thing. And don't you think that's reaping the rewards now?
No.
Why not? The plan is there, and you can see the results of our national teams doing well.
Did Hugo Bruce come from that plan?
There's no plan.
I'm not too sure.
But
do you not think that they saw the plan and they said, okay, we need someone like Hugo Bruce to execute what's in this Vision 2023?
No, for sure. But
and that's planning.
Cool. To what end? Because what's going to happen is that Hugo told us, I'm taking you to the World Cup.
Yes.
Then I'm done. What's next? The fact that right now we are how many months away from the World Cup, we don't know.
And let's be honest, Tlalefang, we did well in AFCON because of Sundowns.
Facts.
And we are doing well currently, right? Because of the season that Sundowns and Pirates had last season, right? We've got two top teams with top players. And those players are infused into the national team.
Yeah, but then also Spain, that's how Spain thrived through Madrid and Barcelona. You can't now say call it a failing.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that was unplanned. You can't tell me SAFA planned for Sundowns to have good players that are competing. No, SAFA was just lucky that, Sundowns is competing in the Champions League, Pirates is competing in and now we can take players from there that have the mentality to say we can be in competition, combine them, play in the national team, represent the national team, and do well. That's not SAFA's plan.
I think.
Let's say Sundowns.
No. Even. See in Morocco.
The technical director should be saying that.
I'll give an example. Rulani, they asked him about Loch. Why isn't Loch in Algeria? Yeah? And he said, in Algeria, you're not allowed to sign players that are foreign, over 30.
Over 30.
I can't even give him a 3-year contract at 29. So that is everybody in alignment to say, hey guys, this is a thing. In Egypt, when they're speaking about goalkeepers, they made a rule. No team is allowed to have a foreign goalkeeper, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying, that it's not by luck we had 3 good goalkeepers and we put them in. Yeah. Like now, even when Bruce speaks about the goalkeeper, let's say goalkeeper, young goalkeeper, there's that kid from Portugal. If you're serious, he should be in the team right now.
Yeah.
Even as a 3rd goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Just going around. But again, Sibalaki... and it's sad again. Like I always say, we've got all the resources, every single resource you could need. The problem is the coordination of the resources is nowhere. Yeah. SAFA's doing their own thing, PSL's doing their own thing, Coach Velo Kumalo's doing his own thing at DDC, then he's called into the national team in J out of the blue. Umfundo is benching at Kaizer Chiefs, just so happens to be called to this one, and then he's playing there. That one is not. Everybody, Sundowns is hiring and firing this one. They're releasing players. Sipho Mbule was benching at Sundowns, just happens to go Skukune, have some problems behaviorally, land at Pirates. And even there, he hasn't played that much, but you get what I mean? Like, all of these things are serendipitous.
Serendipitous.
You get what I mean? You know, can I tell you something? Ne? Look at Spain. Ne? Spain had a plan, right? They won the Euros. They won the World Cup. They did very well. They had a plan to say, at some point, this generation is going, we're going to have to go through a phase whereby we're not going to win anything and we should just accept. We're not going to, but we are preparing. Now there's Abu Pedri, there's Abu Lamin, there's so-and-so. And now Spain, again, for I think 2 or 3 years, Spain did not look like the Spain Abu Xavi, Abu Iniesta.
Of course.
Because they had a plan. They knew in development structures, there's this kid, there's that one, there's that one. Oh, how can we bring them up together? they had a plan so much so that the guy that's coaching the national team of Spain, the first team, was their under 21 coach. That's how serious their plan was.
When Spain has Madrid players and Barca players, it's called organization. It's called plan.
Can I ask you?
When Safa, when Bafana Bafana has players from Sundowns and Pirates, it's serendipity.
Actually, I wanted to ask.
Like,
here's a question then. 10 minutes here. Do we have a national plan for everyone that everybody's following? Is there a national plan where
That
we can
we
say
all know.
that everyone is part of it? That we know La Masia is key development. What? We know that
Fontaine
these
in France, yeah.
Vincente Del Bosque, Vincente Del Bosque is the coach. He knows about Tiki Taka. Johan Cruyff and Pep and those guys are working. Do we have a national mandate as a country for our football? Are we all doing our same thing?
It's like I always tell my
No,
players,
Mara. Guys.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you something.
When it's Spaniards, it's organization.
I like making examples. Even as a coach, I've got a way of how I want to defend and how I want to attack. And sometimes those ways are adjusted according to the opposition that I'm playing against.
Yes.
Right? For example, if I want to attack the half spaces, the byline, and play with cutbacks, with number 10s, right? When I'm playing against the back five, that doesn't work. Because the back five closes the two left and right center back, close those half spaces that I want to break, right? Now, I need to tweak it, right? Already I've got a plan. But the plan can always be adjusted to according to the challenge that's ahead, right? So even with us, take it to SAFA. Have a plan. You will have challenges. You will have this and that.
Nina,
but you
not
will
everybody.
adjust
No,
accordingly
not
as
everyone.
time goes.
Nina, Indaba.
No, not everybody, Khalifan, must be in this. Everyone.
What do you mean?
I mean, when we say as South Africa, you know what's crazy? I'll give you an example. When we were growing up, what was the formation?
4-4-2?
Everyone played it.
Yes.
Every Kasi.
Because that was the formation at the time.
No. But I mean,
That was the thing, yeah.
you could even explain it with your eyes closed.
Yes.
Go Tembisa.
Okay.
What's the formation now
4-3-3.
for South Africa?
It should be a 4-3-3.
You see.
Even with and I'll tell you something. Here's a coaching point, not really a coaching point, but a coaching matter. With the 4-3-3, do you know how many times a single formation can be interpreted? It's so, like, for example, you can say 4-3-3, and the 4-3-3 can be a single pivot, a single 8, a single 10, like a vertical one.
Yes.
The 4-3-3 can be a flat 4-3-3.
Great.
It can be a staggered 4-3-3.
Great.
But
Mara, when we come across players that are from our clubs should give us our best players, right? And the national team should benefit from that. Is it not so?
No, but sometimes
You guys can't tell me that Spain actually prepared and planned to get that crop of players that they did from Barcelona and Real Madrid when they were on their prime. They didn't plan for that.
no. Listen,
It wasn't the plan.
no.
It happened. It was fortuitous that Tiki Taka, that Pep, that Johan Cruyff had the players that they had. And Madrid and Barcelona are the powerhouses of football.
But
If Vicente Del Bosque just had that and just said plug and play, you're making it seem as though the Spanish LFA or the Spanish FA planned this to happen.
But what I'm saying, Khalifang, is that Spain had a plan.
Oh,
It was just Mamela. It's clear, it's evident that they had a plan.
Oh, they had one.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you why it was clear.
Tell me.
I'll tell you why it was clear. Right. If you go on YouTube, right, they do have coaching seminars whereby a coach, the national team coaches, the club coaches, they are talking, right? Part of the reasons, right, Pep went, even at local football level, not national team, went for Busquets over Yaya Toure, is because Busquets is a Spanish player.
That's Barcelona.
And he can contribute.
That's Barcelona.
Listen.
Yes, continue.
And he can compete and help the national team playing for Barcelona. I played overseas. I played overseas in Spain. And my coach told me, he said, my guy, you are a foreigner in the country, right? You're competing against a kid that is a national asset.
Treasure. Yeah.
Right? So you're going to have to do 10 times better than that kid.
Okay, wait. Let's not call it a plan. Maybe let's not call it a plan.
I'm telling a plan.
Wait. Let's not call it a plan.
Barcelona.
Wait, let's not call it a plan. Let's call it a mandate. Do you think that SAFA, PSL, Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Magesi, First Division, ABC, do you think that everybody is working towards the common goal of the betterment of South African football?
No.
Or is it...
That's something that Holland or Netherlands was doing with their 4-3-3 and their tip systems and everything like that. That was their plan. They knew that everybody is playing to ensure that you know how to play the 4-3-3 that the Dutch national team plays. That whoever you plug into the national team in the 4-3-3 knows what to do, right? They prepare them like that. I don't think we have that. I don't think Spain had that either. Spain are just lucky.
Are we missing that then?
We are missing that. Yes, we are. We are missing that. All of us, the PSL, NFD, whoever it is, we are trying to get, the goal is to make sure that the national team, Bafana Bafana, thrives and becomes the best. So whatever we do is to make sure that the Bafana Bafana plays well. Now we need to structure out how does Bafana Bafana play, and then figure out ways to develop profiles of players that can fit into that system. So now, we don't have that. Like you're saying, I don't even know what our formation is. I don't know what it is now. Right? It'll chop and change. But it'll always chop and change if you've got a coach that's going to come with their own ideas. So unless we as SAFA say, we're not coach Mang, this is how we play. Adapt to how we play. And then we can say.
No, you don't say we're not coach Mang, adapt to how we play. As a technical director, you've got a vision at SAFA. Just like Steenbok had. You've got a vision, right? You employ the right people in the right positions.
Yes.
If you want a 4-3-3, you look at who best coaches that. You look at the what relates to, okay, maybe the national teams, it's normally the older coaches because
that's true. That's fair.
They're barely coaching, right?
That's fair.
You employ that person. They implement. You don't tell them what to do. You know that this is what I'm going to get from this person. You employ them. They do the job, right? Then you go again. Under 20, or under 23 or whatever. You said 4-3-3, right? Okay, calm now. Let's look at maybe a younger coach that can implement this thing like the first team coach would. You put them in the position. But now, in our national teams, the coaches that are there, if you look at their football, it's chalk and cheese. One plays like this, the other one plays like that, the other one plays like that. You know,
but there's no standardization.
I see SAFA, but now I'm asking for football as a whole.
As a whole,
why should Pirates subscribe to the 4-3-3? Why should Sundown subscribe to the 4-3-3?
I mean, that's a valid question.
And should they sacrifice their own success with what they've built for the sake of the national team?
That's a
valid question. Look, the national. If I'm a Pirates owner, no, national team. I want to get one. I need to make sure that my club does well. If my club does well, my players get picked for the national team regardless.
But here's also another thing. Something like the School of Excellence, right? If SAFA took on that project and made it their own,
Chipampengesi is the chairman now.
Apparently,
School of Excellence.
Yeah, it's coming back.
So as I was saying, if SAFA had taken that thing, made it a project of their own to say, we're going to take care of this thing, right? Yes, the players will go to Chiefs. They'll go to Cheaper. They'll go to so-and-so. They'll go to so-and-so. But these are the players that we would have developed from an early age of 7, 8, 9, 10 years until maybe they are 15, 16, 17, ready for competition, and they are going to these big teams. What a player learned during from 7 years to 15 years, they can never forget. They can never forget. So now when that player, even if he goes to Cheaper United, and let's say Cheaper United play Route 1 football, play a 3-5-2, when you put him into a 4-3-3, he'll know what it means because you've taught him before. And that's a plan, right? But it's a long-term plan to say, we're going to develop our own players as SAFA We're going to take projects. We're going to assist projects. We're going to try and influence academies. Don't try and influence Chiefs and Pirates that are playing up there. No. Go to independent academies. There's Stars of Africa. There's so-and-so. There's so-and-so. There are many great people in different parts of this country that are doing great work with kids that don't have resources. Assist those people. Give them resources. Sell them your idea, right? Have a similar idea. Coach these boys in a similar way. Yes, these boys won't play for the same team, but they'll go to different teams. But because you taught them things at an early age,
For sure.
things that they will never forget. When he's 23 or 20 and he's called up to a national team, he will know how to play as a 10 in a 4-3-3, which is basically not there, so to speak. He will know if you are in a 4-3-3, the systems can be implemented differently depending on how the coach wants it, right? Okay. So that's just my thing to say. If we can have that plan from SAFA, then things can be better in the next 10, 15 years for us as a nation.
10, 15
Guys,
years.
I said patience.
Guys,
Football is a process, not an event.
10, 15
Presile. Now remember, it's not about us being right, it's about you guys being able to join us in these conversations. So join the press. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Then, of course, I've got Football Telefang on this side. George Bukwena, aka Overthinking Football. And then, of course, Coach Picasso. We're going to have all of our details up there. Please follow all of us. And please share these videos. And feel free to jump into the comments and tell us what you think about the conversation that we had today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now we just have to do the betting.
Hey.
I was like, no, this is... It felt juicier.
We go this way.
The conversation felt juicier. Okay. Rashab. Welcome back, everybody. Another day, another dollar, another week with Sport Pesa trying to help you make it count. And we're going to give you some predictions for this weekend so that you guys can maybe make some money. On the side, we're going to give you predictions. Remember, if the prediction is wrong, this is not betting advice. But if it's right, something. If you can. Guys, we're back. International break is going to be over when this airs. Guys, we're gonna go overseas. Hanyani,
of course.
Burnley versus Chelsea.
Yes.
Maresca, his team up and down. Is it predictable enough for us to be able to follow?
Look, Chelsea's third right now. Come on, Chelsea. Come on.
I think it's a
Come on,
straight
Lindo's
win
team.
for Chelsea with 2 goals or more in the game.
I don't know about all that. I'm not sure about all that.
Win for Chelsea and over 1.5.
Listen, Chelsea's playing away. Chelsea very shaky wakey. The table is very narrow there between us, Arsenal, and City, than everybody else. It's a very one win, 2 wins can put you in the top 3 quickly.
Yeah.
So, look, Chelsea did well against Spurs, as we know, did well. Look, man, they're playing away, and Chelsea's looks a bit shaky week with Enzo Maresca. People want Enzo Maresca out. They don't trust him.
How's Burnley doing?
Look, my boy.
Team.
It's not Sean Dyche.
Exactly.
It's not Sean Dyche. It's Sean Dyche.
Even the odds,
That's Sean Dyche. Look, I see a 1-1 draw. I see a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. That's what I see.
Chelsea win and over 1.5.
1-1 draw.
I'm gonna go with it.
2 goals up.
I'm gonna go with a 1-0 Chelsea win. The odds say 4.23 for a draw. They've got Chelsea at 1.55. And then, of course, Burnley at 5.97. Remember, the smaller the number, the more likelier that it's going to happen. Win. Yeah, it's going to, the result is going to go that way. And you make your money with more upsets. But if you do bet, let's say 10 Rand on Chelsea and they win, you'll get 15 Rand 50 cents. And then if you bet 10 Rand on Burnley, you'll get 59 Rand 70 cents. But be careful.
The draw.
Bet responsibly. Next up, Liverpool versus Nottingham.
Oh, honest lot, my boy.
Mara, guys, Liverpool.
I think that's.
Aren't they turning the corner? What's happening?
No, they are not turning the corner. It's the more Liverpool plays in the Premier League, you realize, Arne Slot did not prepare adequately for the season. He's got all these players. He's greedy, very greedy. Very, very greedy. And the players that he bought, he seemingly can't fit them all into the same team. Sadly, he's getting exposed to being a fraud on a slot. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely.
He's a fraud.
He's a bit of a fraud right now. Because now he got the players that he wants. Yes, he's on fraud watch, and Omamanji got the players. He got the players that he wanted. He's a fraud. Because the team that he took was a club team.
Okay.
He got his team. He got the players that he wanted, and seemingly, better.
Okay, so if better now, do you trust him with the transition? Do you think that he can transition out of the club team?
I don't know, look, I don't know. I can't for sure say he won't be able to. Look, it's still, I don't wanna. He's on fraud watch. I'm not calling him a fraud. He's on fraud watch. You know what I mean? Fraud watch. It's not a fraud yet, because the season must still continue. But it's still Liverpool. It's at Anfield. Nottingham Forest is not the same Nottingham Forest as last season. So look, I see a simple 1-0 win.
I think 1-0 win for Liverpool.
A lot of people are saying Liverpool must bench Salah.
Oh, are we there
bench. Now? Yeah. That's what they say.
Should they bench Salah?
Bench Salah.
For what reason?
Because clearly he can't do what he needs to do. He's lost his powers. And it's because of him that they can't play what they need to play. They can't drive because of him. So bench Salah, let the kids play. Let the new ones play and drive.
That's tricky.
Don't let history fool you. I mean, Salah is looking shaky.
That's a tad bit tricky.
But I see a 1-0 win to Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0 win. Yeah.
Anfield. Forest is not the Forest.
Okay. According to the odds, 4.71 draw, 6.53 Nottingham win, and then of course 1.45. So the odds are with Liverpool to win that game. I am going to say a 1-0 Liverpool win.
I mean.
Let's go to Newcastle versus Man City. Man City, a little bit of a renaissance.
Bro!
They're under Pep. He's chasing Arsenal right now.
No, he's hungry now.
How does it look? Cherky?
Listen.
The different players that
I think Pep needed something to put fire under his belly because it's been easy. And Arsenal doing the things, I feel like he's reborn now.
What's been easy?
It's been easy, man, for Pep, man. Pep is expected to win. He's lost the fire, did the treble. It's been easy. Now it's like, actually, no. Now I've got a competition now. And I think, look, I'm afraid of City right now.
You're afraid?
I'm afraid of City. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a threat. That's a threat right there. And Gerrard is also cooking on the left wing.
To see, you know what's crazy, right? Just a pointer. Pep is playing, he's doing things that I've never seen him.
You see.
Like, in the previous game, they had no width in some points. Doku was aggressively inside.
Inside all the
Both
time.
wingers were aggressively inside, and they had so much verticality. So I think he's rejuvenated his new technical team. You know, there's a lot of excitement. There's fire burning inside.
Woke him up.
To achieve things
Woke
together.
him up.
So I don't think Newcastle have a chance, even though they are playing at home. I don't think they have a chance of winning or getting anything out of this one. They're a good team. Newcastle is a very good team.
Yeah.
Is it though?
They're a very competitive team.
Competitive. Okay, sharp.
Very competitive.
I'll take that. But City is a different type of animal.
It's gonna be full of goals.
Haaland goals.
So definitely City straight win over 2.5 could be even a BTS. Both teams can score. Newcastle, I think, can have one up against them because City are kind of vulnerable at the back. They do concede, because so maybe 2-1, 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 win to City. I see it happen. Doesn't matter. St. James's Park, no one cares, bro.
It's 2-1.
No one cares.
It's 2-1 because the odds are saying
to Newcastle.
2-1 to City.
Oh, okay.
3.8 for a draw. They're saying 1.99 for a City win. They're not as confident as you guys are with City. And then Newcastle 3.5. Then North London Derby.
NLD. Look,
at the Emirates.
Look, man, easy, straight Arsenal win. Even though we lost Gabriel, defender, might be out for like a month or two. It happens. But we've got Mosquera on up top. Mosquera comes in, cleans that backfield, that backline. I don't know if your Chris is back either. Doesn't matter, bro. It's a straight win, Arsenal 2-0.
Yeah, it's a
straight North London Derby. We don't care if the ref is. We don't care.
It's a straight win. Tottenham are so not convincing.
Isn't this the game for Tottenham to come back?
What?
Derbies have no form.
That game that Tottenham game to come back was a one against Chelsea, and they
Arsenal is a serious team, man.
winners of the league.
You guys are a serious
Winners of the league. Winners of the league.
I don't know about that.
Winners of the league.
But they are a serious team.
The league.
I don't know about that. Whereas when City is in this mood.
Winners of the league.
But anyway, I think it's
Thierry Marino.
a straight 3-0 win.
Yo,
3
is crazy. Oh, 3 is
When
crazy.
league
I'm
winners,
going
1-0.
1-0.
Shaky wake 1-0.
1-0 to the Arsenal, brother. What the matters is
set
why
piece.
I say 3. Ne?
Yeah.
It's gonna be an open game. I think both teams are gonna go for it. I don't think Tottenham are gonna go there and sit back. I think they're gonna try and go for it because they've got, pride. There's pride at stake. So I think there's gonna be a lot of corner kicks because it's gonna be, and so you can bet corners and say over 7.5. There's gonna be a lot of corner kicks in that game because I think it's gonna be end-to-end stuff. Like watching a basketball.
Come on, Arsenal.
I'm going to say 2-1. Arsenal win. 4.61 for a draw according to the odds. Tottenham 7.3. 7.3 is the away team. And then, of course, Arsenal 1.44. Guys, we don't have odds for these ones, but I want us to speak a little bit about back home.
Le Pops.
Sundowns is going to take on
Le Pops, my boy.
Guys, how do we feel about this game?
Sundowns now, man.
Ba shaky
They're
way.
blowing hot and cold.
Ba shaky. Habiti ba mokai. They're not the Sundowns of old that you know. Whoever they're gonna take on, Gituba. That's the Sundowns that I know.
Yeah, but
this is Africa.
This is
and they're playing at home, ne?
That's at home.
I think they'll win. I think Sundowns have a good enough coach to do it, to plan against them. They have good enough players to win the game. They do have the
resources.
The resources to win the game. There's no reason for them to lose or throw that
but
game.
they're still shaky.
But guys,
way.
Dakats, Mukoko.
They are still
Mukoko
shaky. Way.
Okay, I'll not Mai this time. Mukoko. Will the mind games that they played versus Pirates, can they work against Sundowns? Sundowns more experience?
Sundowns, man. They've been there. They know this
and
thing.
also, remember, I don't think Pirates went into the game aware of all of the mind games, and I don't think they knew a lot about this team.
And now they know.
But now everyone knows.
But does it change in the group stages? Because that was a once-off game. This is one of 6 games. Do you think that Mukuku comes hard with the mind games? Do you think that they care for this result?
Sundowns players have been there, done that. I think the last thing that you think you can beat them with is mind games.
But
Just
play
football and beat them with football.
Do you think Lupopo cares about this game, or are they going to take that African view of it's an away game, damage limitation? It's either a draw.
Yeah, they expect to lose, I think, based on Sundowns' reputation.
Yeah.
They expect to lose, so they'll fight for a draw. Just don't lose the game. That's what so the dark arts may not necessarily work this time around because people have seen, they've peeped.
They won't work. Sundowns have professionals.
So now they'll say, you know what, I'll get a draw. Just a draw.
Straight win for Sundowns.
I'll get straight win.
1-0 Sundowns win. I think the funny thing about Africa is always that the teams understand the away game. Like Al Ahly, I don't think Al Ahly has a win in South Africa because they just go, look, guys, Tina Sialapa, so funny point, and we're gonna go back home. We'll finish it in Cairo. We'll get the points in Cairo, especially in the group stages. I mean, 3-4 wins and you're done.
Yeah.
Chiefs going to Al Masri.
How do you feel?
How do I feel?
Playing away.
It's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to play this game. Al Masri is not necessarily the strongest team that side in Egypt. Chiefs, I think, has looked a little bit better when they go into African games. I think it was Gavin Hunt who spoke about how the African game is a little bit slower. It's less like intense like that. And they are going away. My heart says Chiefs is going to win. My head says Al Masri maybe 1-0. Because even in the prelims, our away form wasn't that good. We lost at Kabascorp, I think it was, and we drew, I think it was, versus AS Simba. So I'm going to say, for me, it's going to be 1-0 loss.
Would it be wise to
For
then
who?
just fight for the draw? So you're saying they must just go there, fight for a draw? They're playing away
I
from
think
home.
it's gonna be a draw.
Yeah.
I think Chiefs have enough in their locker to get something out of the game. So I think it's gonna be a draw.
They must fight for a draw. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
A draw's a good result.
I think Africa is about losing your ego. And part of losing your ego is to say, guys, we're not going to go away and try big gung ho.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see 10, 15 minutes of Chiefs playing high tempo, like trying to score. Then I expect for the next 75, if nothing comes from that, just get the 0-0, come home.
That's fair. Might be 1-1, but okay.
I don't think the Chiefs will go with the mentality of we're going for a draw. I think they'll go with the mentality of we're going for a win, but we'll be satisfied.
We're stealing it.
Okay.
Yeah, siyatshontsha.
Yeah, Sitshontsha kancane sindlule.
Siyatshontsha.
So, guys, those are your Sport Pesa predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Sport Pesa. Thank you to Omni Audio.
Come on, Arsenal.
We're going to see how this goes. Remember, if you lose, this is not advice. If you win, something.